MC in an area like maybe the ecosystem doesn't exist, what would be a little bit of your advice on how a person could throw a low-key hip-hop event and have it be a successful thing that people will actually want to come to, if you're okay with sharing that little tidbit with the world?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be in areas where there was an infrastructure, in New York and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people that come from different areas where they had to create the community and create the fan base. You know what I mean? And I think something that something that has stopped me a lot in my career is wanting everything to be like it is on TV, or wanting to do everything in a way that's huge. But I think, anybody who's local or trying to build a name for themselves, like, you're like, yo, I got 18 people on the stream. Like, if you have 18 people that really fucking support you, that's better than trying to get, a million people that don't really care about you. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so I think the most important thing is like knowing who your fan base is and holding on to and respecting and appreciating what you do have, because you can always build from that, and really tapping in with the people that are tapping in with you. And I think for me, I always kind of like, I wanted a big name manager, I wanted a big name lawyer, I wanted these things that, like, made me miss opportunities, because now I'm with people that aren't prioritizing me. Now I'm looking at little. I remember I was on tour with the boot camp clique on the West Coast, and I got to Seattle, and my boy Casa Overall, who's an ill artist, ill like jazz drummer, rapper, producer. Everybody should definitely check him out. Really interesting, like avant-garde, just futuristic artist. And he grew up with Macklemore, and this was like right when Macklemore was starting to like super bubble. And I remember reaching out to Macklemore in Seattle and being like, yo, come to the boot camp show, I'm opening up. And like, I kicked it with him at the show, and the next stop was some like small town in like an hour from Seattle. And I was like, I was having so much fun in Seattle that I was like, fuck it, we're not going to the small town. We're just gonna kick it here. Like, I feel like maybe I could go to the studio here. I could go to the dope clothing stores, and like, and he was like, yo, like, don't sleep on that market. Like, you might think that's a small town, but it's an important part of the circuit, and people are going to show you love there. And like, at the time, I wasn't really ready for that gem, because I wasn't ready to kind of humble myself in that way. But like, really, if you're trying to go anywhere, you have to first be present where you are. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to, if you're in a swimming competition, like, you can't get that jump start if your feet aren't like firmly anchored against that wall, to push you where you can actually cross the pond. You know what I mean? So I think the thing is to just like be where you're at, and like tap in where you're at, and find the people who are like you, who want to support you and are into what you're doing, and be yourself, and don't be ashamed or shy about how little or how many followers you have, or who you are, because I think, there's something for everybody. I mean, at this stage, like, the world is a big place and a small place, because we're all connected by the internet. We're all connected by this kind of like weird, shared experience of modern life that we're going through. And so I think, just do what you can, and don't, and let that be enough. You know what I mean? And aim high, but always appreciate the small. Everything is a success. Like, a home run is a home run, but 4 base hits is the same thing. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid of those base hits.
Yo, I think that's mad knowledge nuggets right there. Cause yo, market research, right? Rule number one, understand your
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, I can't even go down certain angles and try to front like whatever, whatever. It just doesn't work, right? And I'm not gonna lie, just to give you your flowers. Like, I don't have that many people just by myself. It might be a certain name that I got to put into a little thumbnail and advertise a bit that got a lot of these people here.
Right.
So thank you so much for blessing me like that. This is huge for me.
For sure.
I just thought you might be a humble guy, but dog, I'm just being real with you. That's what it is. You totally are fucking. This is big for me, and I just want you to know
Dope.
that.
I'm glad, man. That's
And
dope.
and this
It
conversation,
cost me nothing. You know what I mean? I think, like like that's the thing, is like, we got to start giving what we have. Like, it costs me nothing to be here right now. You know what I mean? And if that adds value to you, then I'm creating value from from nothing. You know what I mean? And to me, I like to create. Like if I didn't create something in the day, I have a hard time going to sleep at night, because like I just need to always make something and be like, I made that, I did that today, I accomplished that. And so like if we can create value out of just time, like that's the most like godly thing we can do, is to just make something where there was nothing. You know what I mean? It's a it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the opportunity too. You know.
Honestly, I just think it's great. 'Cause